Yeah, buddy, what is up? Welcome back to Duct Tape Dynasty. Night two, man. 2 nights in a row. Anyway, I am the Duct Tape Dude.
I'm the dude.
And, man, we're on an F1 show now. So we had, what did we do last night? A little draft watch along for the NFL draft. Now we're into the F1 season. Oh, wait. Okay, so I was afraid of that. Shoot. Dang. Okay, this isn't going to work. We're going to have to take that out. Shut this off. Sorry about that. Anyway, before we get started, do us a favor. Minimize that screen. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. Hit that like button, all that good stuff. Let us know that you like what we got going on. It is F1 Fantasy tonight. Now my screen is locked up. I hope everything's working. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully I didn't just screw everything up. But anyway, shoot, we got a good show for you. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to get to. You hear me say we, you only see me, so let's bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest host extraordinaire, Sir Dave. How are you, brother?
Not bad, man. Excited to be back on the old Duct Tape Dynasty here. Talking F1, I'm stoked. Here we go.
Yeah, man. We've had a couple good races. We're behind the power curve on our shows, but we're there now. So it is time, and we've got a couple races to cover, man. They've been. I tell you what, that Japan race was a snooze fest. It was more of a parade than a race. But these last two, Bahrain and then Saudi, they made up for it, right? I mean,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Good watches, exciting stuff. So, well, yeah, let's get to it, man. Well, first of all, let me do the pleasantries. How the heck are you? What's new? How's life? All that good stuff.
Oh man, just plugging away day to day. Life's been hard, you know that.
Yeah.
As of recent, but just trying to stay busy, keep her going, and
keep it
just
moving.
plugging away, man. Yeah.
Keep it moving. Yeah. Well, this is our little. Shadur Sanders is still not an NFL player. Oh, I love it. I love it. Are we through round 3, Andrew? And I see you in the comments. Anyway, let us know if we're having any issues with our connection, because I'm getting glitches over here. Of course, I didn't reset my internet like I always tell myself to. So whatever. Well, let's talk about it, man. The first race we had was Bahrain, dude. Bahrain. Yeah. And that was like I said, a little more exciting. Here's our grid for it. I had pole position this year. I want to say this race, but okay, for Bahrain. We got 2 races to cover. I had pole position, Landon in second. We had Davis in third. Let's see, who's pink? That's Robbie in fourth. You were in fifth, and Kyle had the old sixth, and then we reverse it. There you see who they were, the drivers. In the race, Piastri actually took pole. Leclerc brought a Ferrari up front, but the race results, man, Piastri got it done, got his second win of the season. I love it because Piastri is my boy now that Carlos has gone to a B team. So I got to have a good driver, and Piastri is my dude. I've always loved him since he came into F1. He gets his win. In fact, it's been a theme so far this year. We've had how many races? And I think he's won 3 of them already. So we've had 5 races.
Has he won 3?
Yeah, he's won. He's won. I think he won China, then he won Bahrain, and then he just won Saudi.
Yeah, you're right.
And so Lando won.
Verstappen and Lando got the other win.
Yeah. Lando won Australia, and Verstappen got Japan. So anyway,
dude,
there you see it.
I got hosed on Bahrain, man. When they did, they qualified, and both Mercedes drivers got a 1 grid penalty, right?
Yep.
So I was all stoked because I got Gasly, and I'm like, who wants Pierre Gasly on your team? He hasn't had a very good career per se. And so when I saw that I got Antonelli, I'm like, oh, sweet, that made up everything. Well, come to find out, Gasly finishes in the points and Antonelli doesn't. And I'm like, dude, what the heck?
Yeah, you got hosed left, right, and center on that one. So there again was the grid. You had Antonelli and Sainz, and yeah, neither of those worked out. I had Piastri and Hadjar. Hadjar didn't do a darn thing for me, but Piastri taking the win got me 25 points. So I'm good with that. In fact, let's just show it right now. The point spread, the way it worked out. There's yours. Antonelli, Sainz, 0-0. So instead of a double point
Has
score,
anybody else this season got double zeros?
I don't think so. I think you're the first.
So. Yeah, of course it's me.
Yeah, go figure. But the rest, I mean, dude, Kyle was a double point scorer. I was not, but I had a winner. Landon only had one in the points, but then Davis and Robbie both had 2 in the points as well. So a couple good weeks there, or a couple good finishes there. This is the way it worked out. I'm trying to kind of blaze through this so we can get to the Saudi race, because that's where the excitement stands. That was the most recent race. So again, we're covering Bahrain right here, but the weekly roundup for the way the fantasy worked out, I landed with 25 points, won the week of Bahrain. And again, that's just because I had Piastri. There's you right down there at the bottom with a big fat
Just
0.
Fat goose egg, dude.
Yeah, dude. But the point spread was actually pretty decent. Landon having a tough time getting started this season, but he's got some races coming where he's going to be up at the pole positions, and he'll be hitting some good stuff here pretty soon.
That's the cool thing about this, is like you could be tearing it up the first 3, 4, 5 races. Well, your next races you're going to be lower on the grid.
Yep.
And so you can probably expect it reversed the next few races coming up. So dude, the way we did it, I think, is phenomenal, and it works out great.
It's awesome. It's actually going to take it right down to the end of the year, because
the
way we divided it up, the way we have it set up, we each get 4 pole positions per year. So it won't be until the end of the year that we have each had our 4 pole positions. So, yeah. Hey, Squid is in here. What is up? Riz is in here. Mailman is what Squid says.
That's the sledgehammer, dude.
Yeah, I love it, dude. A little DTD after dark. We got some folks we haven't seen in the comments lately, so it's good to see you back, Squid. Anyway,
Squid actually won a sweater from us this past football season, and we still haven't seen a picture.
I know,
Squid.
right? Didn't Squid get the Peyton Manning jersey?
He did.
Yeah.
We
were supposed to. Jersey. We were promised a picture from Squid. Didn't come through, but whatever. Squid's back in the comments, so we'll take it. But anyway, okay, back to this. This is a fantasy F1 game show, and so there's the point spread that how it worked out for Bahrain. The top 3 finishers all in the 20s, then in the teens and 12. And then you with 0. So sorry about it. Not a good week for you in Bahrain. But Saudi worked out a little better for you, right? So let's go to the grid in Saudi. This was the most recent race. This is where we want to kind of slow down and say, all right, how did it go? So here we go. Here's the grid. Let's go through it real quick. Verstappen came in on pole.
Barely.
Barely by 1/100th of a second. So, I mean, it was awesome. In fact, we've got a video coming up that shows kind of the pole, the qualifying spread, and you'll see it here in a second. It's a pretty sweet video, but Verstappen managed to get past Piastri by
that's got to say something.
Of a second.
Yeah, that's got to say something for Red Bull. I mean, everybody's kind of counted them out already this year. That they don't have the 2023 car where they won every race pretty much, but Verstappen's still showing that he can be up there with the top of the grid, and it was cool to see it so close. Now, do I think his car is probably as good as McLaren's? No, but is anybody as good as Verstappen?
Yeah, Verstappen is definitely the best driver on the grid right now. I mean, just where he's at in his career. And yes, Red Bull is arguably the 3rd fastest car, depending upon who you talk to. But the reality is the top 3 cars are pretty darn close anyway. So,
yeah,
I mean, you Red Bull may not be the fastest car, but then you put Verstappen, you have the Verstappen factor in there, and now he's right up there. And we saw it with the qualifying at Saudi, of which, again, we will watch a video here in just a second and see if we get a copyright strike, see how that works out. So anyway, okay, so the way it worked out, Verstappen, like we said, on pole, Piastri 1/100th of a second behind it. Russell, man, George Russell, who has quietly just continued to be right up at the top, kind of on the podium several times this year. Top 3 there in qualifying, gets 3rd place. Leclerc bringing that Ferrari up front and showing that it is indeed an okay car. Hamilton down there in 7th. Not having the best time driving this Ferrari, man. He's
well,
not.
you know it. On our game, the Ferrari sucks to drive. Dude.
Oh, I hate the Ferrari, man. It is terrible. Yeah, I tell you. By the way, if anybody wants to race us in F1, 24, F1 24,
yeah,
but soon to be F1 25. We both pre-ordered it. My handle there is Duct Tape Dynasty. So, look me up and let's race, man. We have great times running around the tracks and causing trouble together. So, anybody who wants to join us, please jump in, because yes, we have the fantasy. Yes, we watch the F1, but we also are old guys that are addicted to PlayStation, PlayStation driving around. Oh, I love it, man.
Dude, if they tried it, they'd love it too.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah, he needs some sweaters.
What up, Dave? Still need to get one of those jerseys. Yeah, by the way, sporting the jerseys tonight. Throwing up the hockey jerseys. It is hockey postseason right now. We're asking Kevin if he could come on and give us a hockey update at the end of the show. Haven't heard back from him, albeit we kind of just threw it on him last minute. But, dude, for just a second, let's talk a couple things hockey. Okay, so yes, we have the hockey sweaters. These things are sick. We're both wearing them. If anybody wants one of these, we can get you one of these. They're fantastic. They are high quality. They're awesome. Anyway, dude, in hockey, Ovechkin. Let's talk about it, right?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, so that? Gretzky. I had the pleasure of watching Gretzky play back in the day. It was unbelievable to be able to see that in person. The all-time leading scorer, all that good stuff. I thought it would never, ever be touched. And now Ovechkin this year surpassed Gretzky. I mean, we are literally watching history being made in hockey right now, and we haven't had a chance to talk about it one bit. It's kind of a crime.
We had such high hopes for the hockey show this year, and it kind of fell through. Mainly, that had a lot to do with me just busy and not getting around to it. I know Kevin was itching, and then, other circumstances ended up coming along, and it's just like, but I do want to try and get in on the playoffs. I mean, there's so much stuff has happened this year that I think it'd be good to get back in.
We really need to, and we owe that to the old Kev boat. We drug him through the football season with us, and now he's watching and being a faithful listener / watcher with the F1. We've been promising him hockey the whole time, but circumstances beyond our control, aka our lives outside of this show, man, have made it difficult. So it's been interesting. There's plenty going on. If you know, not anything we necessarily want to just throw out and talk about right now, though. So let's keep it back to F1. But nonetheless, hockey is good. Hockey is great. We love it. We have sweaters. If you want one, let us know.
Dude, another shout out to Drew. He just said he's got DTD stickers plastered all over his stuff representing. So
heck
we
yeah.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah.
We do. Hey, we got
awesome.
We got decals and stuff that we can send out to folks. If you guys want them, if you'll display them, we'd love it. Let us know. I'll get them in the mail, send them to you. And we gotta, we need to get back into not the merch. We're adamant that we don't have merch, but we have stuff. Because we're not trying to make money here. I'd love to make money, but that's not what we're doing right now, at least. So if you want one of these sweaters, it's literally you're just paying the price of the sweater. We're not taking money from you and making money or anything like that. We're just facilitating. So we got a lot of cool stuff that we can get to folks if they need it. We can get hats, DTD hats. I know you're not sporting it right now, but you have in the past.
F1 show, gotta wear the Red Bull there.
Dude, I'm right now on eBay. I've got like 14 different hats that I'm watching. I just can't decide which one I want. It's going to be a McLaren one. It's going to be an Oscar Piastri one, but it's like, do I want to get the McLaren kind of Senna one where it's yellow and green? Do I want to get a straight McLaren one where it's orange, just the standard? Do I want to get, there's a lot of sick hats out there, but they're expensive as all get out.
Dude, they are
cheap.
No.
So anyway, okay, back to the F1 and the grid in Saudi. Hamilton back there in 7th. Then you got Tsunoda in the Red Bull taking over. He in Japan. He took over and hasn't necessarily had stellar results, but he's had better luck than old Lawson had in the Red Bull. Yeah. So Tsunoda proving that he's the right guy.
Expected, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is that car is so difficult to drive. That car is made for Max.
Dude, so going back to Japan, when he got his debut, he tore it up in quali. Tore it up, or not quali, but in practice. Practice, he was ripping it up. And then come quali, it was just like, man.
Yeah.
Didn't go his way.
Yeah, but he did get some results out of this race, actually. So we'll get to that in a second. But there's old Gasly in 9th. He was my other driver. I had Leclerc. My color here is green. Yours is red. So you had the Piastri and the Albon. So, it's a little sleeper pick there with Albon in the Williams. Yeah. And Robbie had Verstappen on pole, but then he had Lawson. Lawson not having much of a season, and it's a little bit funny to watch.
It's karma, dude, for flipping off Carlos. Dude, he was good when he was racing that race. He did great. He goes ripping past Carlos, gives him the bird, and now he's just shit.
He can't get anything done. So anyway, let's talk about this this Saudi race. This was. I think I was pleased with it from beginning to end, from practice to all the way through the end of the race. In practice, we of course had Lance Stroll in practice 2 doing Lance Stroll things. And he didn't put it in the wall. We had a side bet going on of which practice it was going to be that he put it in the wall, because we all figured he wouldn't even make it to the race before he totaled one car. He spun one, but he managed not to hit the wall this time. So good for him, I guess.
Was it Saudi where Doohan smoked the wall hard?
Oh, no. That was in Bahrain.
Bahrain.
Yeah. He left his DRS open going around a corner. Didn't work out too well. 160 miles an hour right into the wall. Man, I don't know what the G forces were on that, but they had to have been big.
I thought he said for some reason 22 G's is coming to mind.
Oh yeah, I think it was more than that. I think it might have been 50 something.
Yeah, I don't know. But dude, can you imagine?
Oh gosh, yeah, it's insane. It's insane. But anyway, let's talk about. We've been kind of pitching the quali. The quali was really exciting, and like we said, Verstappen gets quali by 1/100th of a second. Let's watch the video of Piastri. This is from Piastri's car with a ghost car of Verstappen. And you'll see, where I think it actually came down to is when they crossed the start-finish line on the start of their lap. I think Verstappen just had more speed when he came into the start of the lap, because you'll see he just right off the bat as they cross the start-finish line, he pulls out front, and he finishes a half a car length in front of Piastri. So here we go. I've been pitching it left, right, and center. Here we go. We're putting it back up there. And Dave, just so you know, we're not going to get the sound, because one thing I didn't count on is the fact that not only is my little device that pulls the sound pull the sound of the video, but it also pulls the sound of the YouTube feed. And so I'm getting an echo, and so I had to unplug the stupid thing.
Is that at the beginning of the show there? Is that what you were doing?
Yeah.
Because I turned on my iPad to see how you did. So I don't know if it does or not.
I heard it. It started echoing. So anyway, here you see it. Verstappen's up front, and you see, I mean, Piastri manages to get by him a few times. There's a segment coming up where he actually is out in front of Verstappen for a little while regarding time. Obviously, this is a ghost car versus a real car, but this is just for the time comparison.
Which is super badass that they can do that.
Oh, yeah. This is absolutely incredible. And so it shows you, it comes down to the final corner, and Max gets into the final corner, and Piastri, I think, had a little bit more speed on the exit of the corner, but he didn't have enough room to the line. And so he ran out of room. Max finished a half a car length in front of him. It's coming up here in a bit, but right now they're just ripping through one of the, here you go, Piastri's up front. Oh, shoot, I'm watching the YouTube feed. I'm screwed up. My timing's going to be all off. Anyway, but yeah, you get it. They go through the last corner, blah, blah, blah. There's that. So that was the excitement of quality. Verstappen, again, 1/100th of a second in front of him, but Piastri, man, on the start of the race, pulls a Verstappen and just takes the first corner and doesn't give Max any room. Max tries to slide through the corner and say that he got pushed off, but he ends up getting a penalty from the thing. Yeah, and that was what changed the race. So what was your opinion on that? You think it was a deserved penalty as you wear your Red Bull gear right there?
Yeah, I know. So I don't. Where was
he
supposed to go? Where was he supposed to go? Max was still in front of him. His wheels were in front of his.
I don't know. I think Piastri was out in front, man.
No,
well, what the heck?
On,
let's watch. Why not? Let's.
Let's
here you go.
check that out.
Here's Saudi turn one. Couple different angles. Again, the F1 technology is just sick. So here you go. Here's the way it worked out. If you listen, you can hear it. Sounds like Max actually gets a little wheel spin off the line. And that may have been what gave Oscar the opportunity to get alongside him by turn one. And you see Max ran out of room. I don't think Max was going to make the corner regardless. And the FIA didn't think so either. So Max ends up getting a 5-second penalty from that. And that was all it took, because once he served that 5-second penalty, Oscar was out front, and the rest, as they say, is history. So
yeah. Again, with what we're doing with our fantasy here, I mean, Red Bull is obviously my team. Verstappen's my dude, but I had Piastri, so I couldn't be mad. So I'm like, oh,
yeah,
shit, win, I guess. So
yeah, it's the beauty, as we've said this whole time, of this F1 fantasy is you not only have your driver, but then you've got two potentially completely different drivers that you wouldn't necessarily care about that you end up getting in your grid slots. And so it makes the race to where you sometimes have three guys you're excited about. And it's a lot of fun. So here's the results of it. Piastri, like we said, after that 5-second penalty, Piastri out front, didn't give it back. And Max finishes second. Who do we got in third there? Leclerc finally gets it on the podium for third. Lando, who actually put it in the wall at the beginning of Q3, just totaled his car. Well, he didn't total the car, but I mean, he was out. Started in 10th. He recovered to 4th. Not bad. Not a bad drive by Lando.
And didn't get driver of the day.
I know. Somehow he didn't get driver.
How?
Who got driver of the day? I can't even remember.
Verstappen.
Was it Max?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's, oh my
I
gosh.
even voted for Lando, dude. I'm like, oh, he's got to get it. I'm voting Lando.
Yeah, he drove
Did
a good
you go
race.
on and vote?
I didn't. Because I always end up pausing it for some reason, and then I'm too late. By the time the thing comes up, I'm like, oh, I could vote. Well, no, I'm 15 minutes behind. So yeah, and there you go. Okay, so Lando recovers to 4th. Guess what? There he is, the guy we talked about, kind of having a under the radar sneaky season. George Russell right there in 5th, and the other the other Mercedes with a guy who I'm kind of liking, man.
Yeah.
Driving Lewis's old car, old Kimi Antonelli, the 18-year-old.
Tearing it
Bro,
up.
he's
dude.
not doing
Best rookie on the grid for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's plenty of rookies out there. You got Hajar, you got Doohan, you got technically Lawson's actually a rookie because he hasn't had a full season. You got Ollie Behrman out there. Yeah, you've got you've got so many rookies, but Kimi is absolutely tearing it up, and he's fun to watch, man. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's a good racer, man. I think he's going to have a lot of potential to be a world champion, I think, in his career, for sure, if he keeps driving the way he is.
That's what I was getting at. You know, I mean, that guy, you put him in a McLaren, and I think he's right there.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's fighting Oscar in Lando if there was a third McLaren and he was in it. But anyway, so yeah, he in Lewis's car finishes in front of, well, Lewis in Carlos's old car. So there's Lewis finishing, what is that, sixth? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, he's down there. But then the Williams, both Williams cars, Carlos comes in ahead of Albon. They both score. So that was pleasant to see. I am a closet fan of Williams even before Carlos went to Williams because of James Vowles, man. I absolutely love him as a team principal. I think he is awesome. I don't know how much you've paid attention to James Vowles, but he is a tech nerd, and
for sure.
But he's
you could tell, dude. You could tell.
Yeah, he's an awesome team principal. I really like him. So, and then old Isaac Hajar back there finishing in the points gets his. I think that was his first. No, that wasn't his first championship point. I don't think, but nonetheless, he puts the. It's not the V-Carb anymore. It's the Racing Bull in the points. Lawson, nowhere to be found. So,
yeah. Who?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of,
that was some good teamwork on the Williams team, though, to keep Hajar behind him.
Yeah.
He was coming.
Yep.
He was coming.
Absolutely. So, but check this out. So, with Oscar winning a third race of the season, well, okay, we're going to get to that in a second. So I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about our point spread. So there's you see the finishing results. Let's go to our point spread and how it worked out. Now, mind you, let's go back to Bahrain. You got a big fat goose egg in Bahrain. Well, switched it up right here with a double points finish this week in Saudi, taking a win with Piastri and then getting a couple extra points there with Albon. Not a bad week for you, Kyle. Again, there's Russell, like we've said before. We keep saying, or at least I do, and then he gets double points with Norris, both in double-digit points. So, not too bad there. I took 15.
What two guys to have? Like last week, we in Bahrain, didn't he have Verstappen and Norris?
Yeah.
Now he ends up with Russell and Norris.
Yeah, and his grid slots aren't 1, 2. He had like 6, 7, and
right.
So I mean, he had Verstappen and Norris with 6, 7 in Bahrain, which is like, dude, holy cow, how's that work out?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, Landon manages to get some points, but only one of them scoring, and then you've got Davis with the double points, only adding up to 10 of them though. Robbie getting Verstappen there on a second place finish, 18 points. Not bad at all. So let's see how it worked out for the week. You on top, 27 points from worst to first. Not bad. Not a bad recovery. Yeah. 27
see
points.
If we just keep her at first this next week and we'll be all right.
Yeah. So Kyle, another solid performance like you just said. He had Verstappen and Norris before. Now he has Russell and Norris. 22 points he scores. Kyle is scoring big with poor grid slots, actually. I mean, relatively speaking, not grid slots you expect him to be scoring that many points with, but he does. Robbie 18, myself at 15. Everybody's in the points. Davis 2 points ahead of Landon. He's with 10, Landon with 8. So, but okay, so this is kind of what I was pitching is, so with the Oscar Piastri winning a third race of the season, which is incredible. Okay, so Lando Norris Lando Norris has had 100 and some odd races, has
The
5 wins.
face of McLaren.
Yeah, well, not anymore, but
No.
so whoops. So now Oscar has 51 races, just as many wins, and he is tearing it up. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new championship leader in F1, and it ain't Max Verstappen, it ain't Lando Norris anymore.
And I think
there it is.
Yeah,
Who is
I
it?
think
We've got a suspect, and he's wanted.
Can we take that? Let's take his description.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Old boy Piastri. How about that? How about that? Oscar Piastri is our new championship leader in the clubhouse, man. I can't read the points because it's way too small on my screen here. But point is, he's out front. Lando Norris in second. Max Verstappen all the way back in third. He's so far back that he can actually now get out of his contract midway through the season. Actually, after next race, if he wants to, because he's not in the top 2. I mean,
99 points for Piastri.
Yeah, and then so he's 10 points ahead of Lando, who's got 89. Then Max just 2 points behind Lando, and again,
which is crazy because Max is the only one scoring points for his team. That's
Yep.
So
old boy
Max
George,
is still Max.
George is right there. Then you've got Charles. There's Kimmy, dude. Check that out. The rookie out in front of Lewis, who left that seat to go to Ferrari. He's still in 7th. He's not doing bad. 31 points for Lewis. Alex Albon, 8th place in the drivers' standings for the year, the championship standings in a Williams. Not bad.
Your boy's in 10th, though.
Yeah, old Lance Stroll sitting there with 10 points in 10th. I mean, come on, man. What are we doing? What is Lance Stroll doing? I mean,
everybody below Lance Stroll needs to be fired.
Yeah, well, he will not finish in 10th. I guarantee that. So
no.
Then let's talk about the constructor standings. So McLaren continues with 2 drivers that are really tearing it up. I mean, Lando not having a bad season anyway. He's won a race and he's been finishing pretty darn well. He's in 2nd place, as we said, in the driver standings. But with both of them scoring points all the time, you've got McLaren out front handily right now at 188 points, out front of Mercedes with only 111. And then Red Bull with 1 guy scoring, although Yuki now has brought a couple points, I think, to the team. 89 points. And then Ferrari, Williams, Haas, Aston Martin, Racing Bulls, Alpine, and Kick Sauber, who I thought wasn't going to score a single point. They do have points, but they're still the 10th place team. So, they're not doing too well. But they're about to become Audi, actually. So, are they going to become a contender now in 2026 with the new regulations and a new sponsor? No, you don't think so?
No, not with Hulkenberg and what is it?
Bortoleto.
Bortoleto,
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see what Audi does. But actually, in 2026, we get another team as well. So instead of Cadillac, just 20 cars, we've got 22 cars now. Cadillac, rumored to be the top pick for their drivers, is the dude who used to be in the other Red Bull.
Checo.
Old Checo is rumored to be the number 1.
Checo and Ricardo, 2X Red Bull guys, dude. That would be sick.
That would be unbelievable. I'd love to see that.
Who else do they really have? I mean, who would you go with?
There's a rookie poll out there. There's got to be. So, I don't know, man. We shall see. It'll be interesting. And I tell you, right now you
can
have
pull Valtteri back, I guess.
Oh, that'd be sweet. I'd love to see the old
the mullet
come back. Valtteri's a heck of a driver. There's rumors that they're talking to come on, who is it? Who the heck is it? What's his name? Why can't I think of it? Used to drive for Red Bull, won championships with Red Bull. German guy. What the heck is his name? I just had it. Shoot, I can't remember. Anyway, whatever. Let's check out our championship lead for the fantasy. Kyle out front, handily,
Kyle.
101.
Whew.
Dude, check that out. Old pink boy, Robbie, 99 points, just a couple points back. I managed to be on the podium.
He's the luckiest person.
I know.
Dude.
I know. I love it.
He gets to see all the cool shit on the train. He called me today and told me about this whole cop story. They're chasing a guy. He sees it on the train. And then he's sitting in the yard and he watches a car hit a concrete pillar and roll right in front of him.
What?
And I'm like, dude, I don't get to see any of this stuff.
Whatever.
Here he is.
You hit a truck with your train.
Well, yeah, he's hit two. He's been hired on for 2 years, 3 years maybe, and he's hit 2 vehicles already.
Jeez, Robbie, what are you doing, man? I'm surprised he's not fired. He's the Lance Stroll of train drivers out there, but in our fantasy league, he's only a couple points back of the championship lead. I managed to stay in the 90s, only 10 points back of Kyle on the podium, and then you're 20 points back with 71. Still not bad. I mean, a lot of races to come. Davis with 60, Landon down there with 46, but he'll be climbing. He'll be climbing.
Oh, yeah.
So there's our standings as of now. Man, I've kind of blown through this show in a heartbeat, 39 minutes. To get us to the next race that's coming up, which there is no race this weekend.
Dude, I hate that. It sucks.
I know, it stinks. But
I look today and it was Friday. I'm like, oh, practice, sweet. And I'm like, oh, it's not till next week.
Hey, Blaine Thompson in the comments. What's up, Blaine? Welcome.
What's up, Blaine?
He says hey to you, by the way. Dave, how's things?
Yeah.
But the reason that there's no race this weekend is because they're carting all those cars over the seas to the United States, because the next race is Miami, which is always a good one. I like them.
Put them on the plane. Let's go. They could have got here in a week.
Oh, I know, man. There's so much money in F1. I'm surprised they don't have like what is that, Star Trek or whatever, where they just like and zap the cars.
Right.
I'm surprised they haven't come up with that.
Over.
Yeah, that technology yet. So anyway, okay, so let's look at the grid for Miami. We'll probably have another show before the Miami race, but guess what? Guess who's on pole?
Dude, Kyle's going to start running away.
I know, man. Go figure. Kyle had his lower class.
Yeah, and he's hitting it good with his lower grid picks.
Yeah.
Who just happen to be phenomenal drivers, and he's scoring points. Like
big points.
We got to do something here. Kyle's going to start running away with it, and we're not going to be able to catch it.
I know. I'm a little bit scared for what's going to happen in Miami, because like we said, Robbie's only 2 points behind him. I'm only 10 points behind him. But fortunately, I do have the second grid slot in Miami, so I'm not too far away. But Robbie is down in 5th with his grid slot. So who knows what's going to happen. Landon there in 3rd. Davis has the 4th, and this is actually your race where you've got the 6-7 grid slots. So
yeah,
hopefully
I'm going to get Science and frickin' somebody Gasly again.
You're going to get Stroll, dude.
20 points.
You're getting Stroll.
Dude, if Stroll gets in the top 10, then something happened catastrophic.
Yeah. He will not in Miami. No, I don't. I'm surprised his own dad hasn't fired him. His dad owns the team, and he's the only reason he's driving. I'm surprised he's still driving. That's how stinky Stroll is. But I'm thankful he's out there, because he's a great meme every race.
Yeah.
So without him, what would we have?
Dude, it's a sprint weekend, too.
Oh, that's right. We've got a sprint coming up. So
side bets.
Oh, yeah, side bets. Robbie, get your pocketbook out, buddy, because paying up. So, yeah, there you go.
If he wins again, I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah, I know. We may or may not have a little side hustle going on for the sprints between myself, Dave, and Robbie. And Robbie won the first sprint, so doggone it. Anyway, we had to pay him some money. So there you go, man. I absolutely chattered my way through this. Didn't let you talk at all. My apologies.
Dude, you're good, man.
There was just so much that we had to cover. I was like, I got to keep it moving. So now we're done, dude. I mean, just like that, the show's over. We're at the end. Yeah, what do you think? Miami, any predictions of what we're going to see? We're going to see some exciting new people up front, or is it going to be Piastri
I think
going?
it's going to be. I think it's going to be the same people up front. I think one of the only people we'll see maybe making a better push would be Leclerc, getting up there a little higher.
Okay. Is Hamilton ever going to be able to drive that Ferrari? I mean, what's happening?
Hamilton won the first sprint, right?
He did.
And then that was like it.
Yeah, and he, by the way, when he qualified on pole for the sprint, he was like, "What? Are you serious?"
But I have no grip. I have no grip.
I know,
man.
He is a whiner. I mean, I get it. He's a 7-time world champion. All that good stuff.
But I think his time is done.
I think so as well. He's finishing in red, but I don't think he's going to get an 8th championship, and he's going to whine about it the whole way. So, I'm not the biggest Hamilton fan. Like I've said earlier in the show, Carlos was my driver, still is, but he got relegated to Williams because of the fact that Hamilton decided, you know what, I want to drive a Ferrari before the end of my career, and so I take a little bit of pleasure in seeing Hamilton not do so well in his Ferrari escapade. So sorry about it. I know everybody loves Hamilton.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I'm not a Hamilton lover, man, because he relegated my guy to a crappy team. So, anyway.
Like you said all show, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Russell go out there and get pole either. I mean, he's having a great season. He's just one step behind. If he can just figure out what it is.
Yeah,
he's gonna. He's been up there every race. So, I think Russell's probably going to be somebody to watch out for come towards the end of the season. Maybe when some of these other guys start banging up their cars, going through parts and stuff. Although Russell did have issues towards the end of the race, last race. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, his steering wheel was shutting off and all that stuff. Yeah. That was in Bahrain, actually.
Was it Bahrain?
Yeah, but he managed to work through it and ended up in he in 3rd in Bahrain? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was he drove a heck. No, he was 2nd, I think, in Bahrain. He drove a heck of a race.
I thought something happened last race too.
Norris and now I got to go back. Where is it? Bahrain? No, that's Saudi. Saudi. That's that. So the Bahrain. Okay, here we go. Sorry, going back
Bahrain,
to it. Bahrain, it was Piastri. Then you had Russell in 2nd, and Lando in 3rd. Was Charles in 4th, and Lewis in 5th. So there you have it.
Yeah, something rings a bell that something happened right at the end of last race too, but.
There's Bahrain, something always going on with Russell. Usually he chucks it into the wall at the end of the race, which he is not doing. Last year he was up front quite a bit as well, but and
he just couldn't finish.
Yeah, so and he did have one race where he won it, but then got disqualified because his car was underweight. So anyway, so that's our show, man. DTD late night, DTD After Dark. Again, sorry I kind of just blew through the show, but I had to keep it moving, man. We had a lot to talk about. And I'm excited. The boys are coming to the States, man. First race in the States of the year, and I'm excited for it. Miami, always a good race.
Blaine says Schumacher is the GOAT. Hopefully he's talking about Michael Schumacher.
Oh, yeah, he's not talking about Mick. I tell you what. So that's for sure.
That didn't last long,
No. He got his chance because of his name, and it did not last long. Much like Stroll has his chance because Dad owns the team.
You'll never see him in an F1 car again. Which isn't it rumored that he is selling?
I don't know.
Isn't he getting out?
Oh, yeah. You mean Stroll? Yeah.
I forget his dad's name, but
Lawrence. Lawrence, yeah.
Lawrence, yeah. So as soon as Lawrence is gone, they're about
Oh yeah, Lance is so gone, gone. Once Lawrence's money goes away,
I mean, dude, we might see Ricardo next season, dude. There's potentially 3 seats that are going to open up.
Well, dude, and just wait
What
till,
about all the talk with Verstappen going to Aston Martin?
yeah, I tell you what, there's trouble in the old Red Bull garage.
Yeah.
His manager was chewing out old Helmut Marko. Not good looks in Red Bull. You know, last season, if you watch last season's Drive to Survive, they had some other issues in the clubhouse, so to speak, with Christian Horner rumors and whatnot. And man, Red Bull, I don't know.
Yeah.
We might see Max in a different color here come 2026, or who knows.
You know, it would be cool to, you know, like that would, I think it would shut up a lot of people if Max went to a different team and I'm not saying dominated, but shows that he can, you know, it's not just the Red Bull car. It's not just the Red Bull team.
right.
It's actually Max Verstappen and he goes out and does well, which would be cool. You know, I mean, I was never a Max fan when I first started watching Drive to Survive. He was arrogant, he was cocky. I didn't like him. The more I watched it, I'm like, okay, this dude is legit. And now, you know, watching it even more, and I don't even know why I gravitated. I think I gravitated to Red Bull because of Ricardo, like watching the show, and I drink 100 Red Bulls a week. But besides the point, I should probably own some stock in Red Bull.
Red Bull, although it's an Austrian company, is so. I mean, America has just embraced Red Bull beyond belief because of the extreme sports nature of it, and so it feels American, you know, even though it's definitely not. And so, yeah, I'm attracted to Red Bull as well. And Drive to Survive, like you said, that first season, the first driver they highlighted was Ricardo, who is like forever the greatest smile and the happiest face of F1. And he was driving for Red Bull. So, you know, you naturally fell in love with him and Red Bull and actually Max and I share a birthday. He has the same birthday as me, just 20 years later. So, I do like Max. I do. I think he's a great driver. I would like to see him go to another team and win as well and, not shut people up, because I think he's definitely proved that he's a heck of a driver. Everybody knows he's the best driver on the grid, but it would be nice to see him do it in another car as well and just be like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
So Andrew's got a good question, and I'll read it to you, and I'll let you take that. Yeah. So how many drivers does each team have? Only two, or is there a minimum or maximum of drivers? Josh can elaborate on that.
So they do. It's two drivers per team. So there's 10 teams on the grid, two drivers per team, and they do have a reserve driver. They do. I mean, each team pretty much has a reserve driver, but a lot of times the reserve driver is an F2 driver as well, which there's F2, there's F3. I think there's even F4. But F1.
F2, 3, E.
Oh, yeah, there's
Academy,
all sorts of Fs.
Yeah.
They've got plenty of Fs to give. But yeah, so usually the reserve driver is like an F2 driver or something like that. So last season, actually in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, Carlos Sainz, my boy, came down with appendicitis and could not race. He had to have an appendectomy like the day before the race. So obviously he couldn't get in the car and be pulling 5-6 Gs and et cetera, after getting his appendix ripped out. So Ollie Behrman actually drove his Ferrari in the race and managed to finish 7th. And that actually is largely, I believe, that was the catalyst for him getting his F1 contract. He now drives for Haas. So he's a full-time driver. In the last race, he finished. No, he didn't finish in points. I can't remember. He's a good driver. I like old Ollie Behrman. But yeah, so that's awesome. I love seeing that when somebody comes in. Somebody else did that as well. I can't remember who, but
isn't that what Lawson did last year? Came in as
that's right. He came in for Ricardo. Anyway,
and now, like, which I didn't know this, but I guess they have to let an F2 or a rookie upcoming driver drive every one practice, like 4 times a season or something like that.
Yeah, they do. Yes, each team has to have a certain number of practices that they give to an underling, if you will, throughout the season. I don't know we should get Terry on the show. He knows everything about F1, and he would be able to answer those questions. But yes, Andrew, so your next question, and the reserve driver drives the main driver's car like a NASCAR sub would. Yes. However, the points, the way they work. So with F1, there are 2 championships that are happening kind of at the same time. There's the Drivers' Championship and there's the Constructors' Championship. So like we said earlier with your question, great question, how many drivers per team? There's 2 drivers on each team. So their points combined, so like what you've got Lando and Oscar for McLaren, both scoring points. Well, they take their points combined, and that is McLaren's score. So let's actually go back to, where is it? Okay, I'm way off. Here we go. So here you go, Andrew. This is the driver's standing. So each driver gets their own points, right? So Oscar Piastri has this many points. Lando Norris has that many points. And if you add both of those together, now let me see, I got to find the other one. You end up with the constructors total, which you see here. So McLaren has the total of Oscar and Lando's points combined. However, when a driver steps in, like when Ollie Behrman stepped in for Carlos and drove Carlos's Ferrari, the points that he scored did count towards the Ferrari total, but the points he scored did not then go to Carlos. He basically became a 21st driver for the year and had, so many points, even though he only got to run one race. But so at the end of the season, when you looked at all the points, you actually had like 22 drivers because like Ricardo got replaced partway through the season. You had a guy step in, Ollie Behrman, in the middle of the season, but his points still counted towards the Ferrari total because he was driving a Ferrari car. So I hope that kind of made sense. I tried to describe it the best I could, but
yeah.
Anyway, let us know.
We better wrap this up.
Yeah.
My iPad's about to die. I got 5% battery on it.
Sweet. Anyway, he says he's going to start watching Drive to Survive as soon as the school year's end. School year ends, and dude, you're going to be addicted. It's not going to take long. Drive to Survive is the avenue, and I tell you, it didn't take me very long because, one more thing to say, I got so into it that now I'm even going to a race this year. So I went from
bastard.
I went from just watching it on Netflix to being completely consumed by it to creating a fantasy league, I guess, totally different fantasy system for F1, having an F1 show, and now going to an F1 race all in the span of like 3 years. So awesome, it is addicting, man. It is awesome. So, anyway, you're about to run out of battery. Here's the socials for it. You guys know what to do. Just screenshot this. We talked about Terry, who knows all things F1. That bottom QR code
cool.
is actually Terry, Coffee Corner Motorsport. Go follow that on TikTok, and you will learn all you want to know about F1 because that guy is a wealth of information. Tough to understand because he is very British, but fortunately, he's smart enough to put subtitles in his videos, so you can.
Sweet.
Yeah, you could read and follow along. Anyway, dude, I'm sorry I didn't let you talk at all. I feel like I just.
No, you're good, man.
I blazed through this. There was so much to get to. Anyway, but it was fun. DTD After Dark.
It was.
Thanks for doing this.
It's always fun.
I know it was last minute, literally like about an hour ago. It was like, hey, you want to do a show? Here we are. An hour later, the show's over. So, dude. We love you guys. You guys are the absolute best. Dave, thanks again. I love you, bro.
Yeah, man. Love you too.
Let me find my credit slide because I'm still out of practice. I don't do that. So anything for the peeps before we go?
No, man.
All right. Race next weekend. Race next weekend in Miami. All right. Like I said, we love you all. We'll see you next time.
All right.